how are you? My name's Erica Endyke of 20 West Legal, located in Sudbury, Mass. And this video is going to give you a little insight on how to set up a business if you are a new or newly organized business. Okay, so the very first thing you're going to do, most importantly, is choose a name for yourself. And not only is it fun and exciting, but there is a little bit of work behind it because you have to make sure that it's not a name that someone else is already using. How do you do this? A few steps. First, if you're in Massachusetts, you're going to go to the Massachusetts Secretary of State's office, and I'll link to it below, and do a quick search just to make sure that there's no other business using the name. You can also do this on a more bigger level, federal level, by going to the Patent and Trademark Office, that's the pto.gov, and doing a search there. Lastly, I suggest you do just a quick Google search to make sure that no other business is operating with the same name. You could run into trouble later, lawsuits could be had, it could be an ugly scene, so just do yourself that one solid. Okay, the second thing you're going to do is choose your legal entity. There's a whole bunch of options here, but I'm going to keep this limited to sole proprietorship and an LLC because those are more for the small business clients that I generally have. Sole proprietorship. Super simple. There's really not much to do because you're actually just operating basically as your own personal self. But if you do have a DBA, that's doing business as, you're going to want to file whatever required certificate there is to operate as a DBA. And generally you can do that by going to your local town or clerk's office and just finding out what kind of document they require to be filed. Next, for an LLC, there are a little bit more steps. The first thing you're going to do for an LLC, you can do this on your own in about 5 minutes. You go to the Secretary of State's office. Again, the link is below for Massachusetts. And you are going to what we in Massachusetts call file your articles of organization. Basically some data entry. There is a question about a resident agent. What's a resident agent? It's basically that is someone that can collect mail or accept service on your behalf. So it can't be a PO box. So you're going to need to name an actual physical address here and a person that is at that physical address. Okay, so you've done your articles of organization, which was a GIF. And next you're going to draft your operating agreement, or as I would recommend, have an attorney draft your operating agreement. Even if it's just you, you're a single member LLC. I know it's kind of weird, you're having an agreement with yourself, but trust me, you want to have this done, and especially if you're a multi-member LLC, because you're going to need to basically map out how you're going to get paid, who's going to put in what contributions, how loans are going to be repaid. There's a whole plethora of important information that needs to go in there, and it's a protective document in case you run into trouble later. Next, after operating agreement, you should go to irs.gov and fill out the SS4 and obtain your EIN number. That is an employer ID number. This is the number that will allow you to open bank accounts, apply for loans, what have you, on behalf of the LLC. So you're not throwing around your own personal Social Security number and remaining personally liable on these debts or accounts in case anything should happen. Okay, so that was a breakdown after step 1 was name, 2, legal entity, 3, you're going to go and open a bank account. So if you're an LLC, you're going to take that EIN number, go open your bank account. If you're a sole proprietor, DBA, you can use your own Social Security number. Number 4, you are going to, hold on a second. Sorry about that. Number 4, you are going to check and make sure that if whatever business you're engaging in requires special licenses or permits, that you have those all up to date. I'm an attorney, for example. I need a license to practice law, and I need to update that annually. Without that, I cannot operate lawfully. So you're going to want to do the same for your occupation if it's applicable. And number 5, big number 5, you are going to want to make sure that any contracts that you're going to be using in your business, maybe service contracts, employee contracts, leases, whatnot, all are in order. For example, again, bringing it back to me, all about me, I'm an attorney, and before I work with any clients, I ensure that they sign an engagement letter. This outlines the terms of my services, the fees for my services, who can terminate and when, things like that, fun stuff. So the 5 big ones again, the first was choose a name, choose a legal entity, and from that we went into the sole proprietorship and LLC. Open a bank account. I forget 4. I keep forgetting 4. Open a bank account. Oh yeah, permits and licenses is number 4. And number 5 is get your contracts in order. Once you do all that, you should be legally all set to go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, and maybe even if you didn't, but you just like what I'm talking about, can you give me a thumbs up? And please feel free to share this with anyone that you think may be interested. It's such an interesting topic.